This is a video to show how NHS Service Finder can really help GP practices and pharmacies find details about each other. You can find NHS Service Finder at servicefinder.nhs.uk, and if you're new, the first thing you need to do is create an account by clicking this button on the right. That will quickly create your account linked to your NHS mail address. Now I'm going to show you what happens after you sign in, but before I start, I'm showing you the browser version on a desktop of NHS Service Finder, but you can run this on your mobile phone using a normal web browser. So let's sign in, and the first thing it asks us for is a search location. The quickest thing might be to click on use my current location, but I'm going to show you from searching on a location, and there we have it, just selecting the one for me. A really useful tip is to click on save this location. On the right hand side, you can see that I've got no saved locations at the moment, but if I save this location now, this means it's even faster to use NHS Service Finder next time because it knows a saved location that I can search from. So let's click on next. We've got three options of how we want to search. We can search on type of service, and if I was a GP practice, you're going to see that I could type in something like blood pressure checks, clinical keywords, so keywords we're searching for, and quick search, which is really designed for searching based on a name of a service or a partial address. So let's think of a type of service search where the GP practice is looking for a blood pressure check, and it's offering us the NHS Community Pharmacy blood pressure check service. So if we click on that and then we click on next, we will now be shown a list of pharmacies offering that service, listed in order of distance, with the nearest one being closest to our location. So that list is shown on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we can see the details of the pharmacy, so opening hours, address, phone numbers, and importantly, there could be contact details which are non-public, so an email address for us as health professionals to use but not for public use, and maybe some bypass phone numbers that also are not for public use. If we scroll down, it can give us any more useful information on this service. And at the bottom here, we've got actions for this service. We've got the options for sharing the service details with the patient, recording that we've directed a patient to this service, or reporting problems with this service. So maybe if we found that one of the information listed for this pharmacy is actually not correct, like maybe the wrong phone number or the hours are wrong. Let me show you the share service details with the patient. So let's click on that. So non-public details will not be shared with the patient, and we can share it via either email or print. So let's click on email, and now we type in the patient's email address. It then shows us that the messages will come from a generic email address, and it asks us to check this box to confirm that the patient understands and gives their consent to use their email address this one time, and it will only be used for this one purpose. So if we click on that box, and below that we get this option, see a preview of this message. So let's click on that to see what does the patient get. And here we have it. It's an email that gives the pharmacy's name, contact details, website, address, opening hours, and a useful Google map as well. So if we close that and we can click on send message, it has now sent that message to the patient. So let's go back to the service and let's go back to a new search. So what if we now wanted to look for a contraception service? And again, we've got the option coming up of the NHS Community Pharmacy Contraception Service. So let's select that. Let's click on next. And like before, it's shown us pharmacies that can offer that service with the nearest one to our location listed first. Let's go back again to the search option. Let's do a quick search this time. So if we could click on quick search and maybe type that pharmacy name from last time. And again, it's just searching through pharmacies and giving us options of pharmacies with that name. So that's how the quick search works. Right, going back to the search function again, but this time let's think of it from a pharmacy's perspective. What if we wanted to look for that GP practice? So again, we could type in under type of service, GP practice, and we can click on GP practice to select it, click on next, and it's listing us all the GP practices, again based on distance with the closest one first. Importantly, it will show us non-public details like bypass phone numbers and non-public email addresses for that practice. Again, if we go to new search again, and similar with the quick search, so if we type in the name of the GP practice that we just saw, the results come up in just the same way as when I showed you earlier a GP practice looking for a pharmacy. Hopefully this video shows how important it is for information on Service Finder to be correct. So please do check your own organisation on Service Finder and make sure that all your information is complete and up to date. But what do you do if you do notice something that's incorrect about a service on Service Finder? Well, if you click on the action for this service, it scrolls you down to the bottom, and I showed you earlier how you can choose the share service details with patient option, but now I'm going to show you the report problems with this service. So if we click on that, if the problem is urgent, you may need to discuss it within your organisation or contact your regional directory of services team directly. And if you click on that link, it will give you the contact details for your regional team. If routine, then we can continue to complete this feedback form. And it gives us two options. I could not access this service or refer a patient, or some information about this service is incorrect. Let's pick the last one. And if we scroll down, it's asking us to tick as many of these options below that were wrong. And then there's a free text box to give more details about the issue. And then we can click the green send button to send the message. Now I'm not going to do that because this is obviously a demo video, but if we go back up, apart from that link there to see your regional directory of service team contact details, there's also at the top under the help section. So if we click on help, you can find that there too. So there's an option of contact your regional directory of services team. So even if it was the situation that you needed to contact the team about your own organisation, maybe you've spotted things about your profile that's incorrect, here are all the contact details for the regional teams to help you. I hope this video shows how simple and quick it is to use NHS Service Finder so that GP practices can find details about pharmacy services and pharmacies can find details about GP practices.